concerned, and people are not happy. The entire place was packed. Shout out to Mosque number 11 for hosting. Shout out to all those that came out. You remember when James Brown saved Boston? Who gonna save us now? Because we need some saving. Don't save. Yeah, we need saving. As far as weather is concerned, it's chilly outside. Be mindful. 32 degrees outside. Looking at a high of 58, low of 41. Mostly sunny throughout the day. Tomorrow, 68 degrees as our high, 58 as our low. Partly cloudy and windy. But remember, this was not what we reported on Monday. Friday, high of 63, low of 46. Rain, wind, clouds, no sun. Saturday, cloudy, high of 55, low of 39. Sunday, high of 42, low of 24. Rain, snow, showers, wind, no sunshine. Monday, high of 41, low of 29, mostly sunny throughout the day. As far as traffic is concerned, baby, get to where you need to be. If you're coming from that Braintree-Quincy split, they are down. Actually, they're all the way down to 42 miles an hour. Then you get to that Braintree-Quincy split. If you're coming from the Braintree area, they're at 28 miles an hour. And then once you get into the city, there's an accident that is backed up on Southampton Street. And they are backed up all the way to the Braintree-Quincy split into the city. They're at 44 miles an hour. So just be mindful. It's going to get worse as the morning progresses. We have Our Wife down to 10 miles an hour and Longwood down to 22. So that's so far so good. As far as news is concerned, I really wanted to report this yesterday. Didn't have enough time. Shout out to P. Diddy Combs. Why? Because he is doing amazing things. So proud of him. He launches a Harlem charter school. Oh my God, but charter schools, I know. This is a way for him to own what he wants. And Sean Diddy Combs is going from hip hop and vodka mogul to education. Combs is opening a charter school in his hometown of Harlem. And the Museum of the City of Boston of New York. Combs started the prep work for the Capitol Preparatory Harlem Charter School in 2011. Whew. And finally, this fall, his school will open. The school also has some big names on the board. Steve Perry will oversee the school. Danita Jones will be the school's principal. Ayana Van Zant and Reverend Georgetta Morgan Thomas are some of the school boards. Capital Prep will be free public school for grades 6 through 12 and will aim to provide a year-round college prep education. Do you hear me? The deadline to apply for the school is April 1st. The report just came out a few days ago, but shout out to him. That's definitely a Chico. He might not be a Chica, but he is a Chico. In other news, as far as education is concerned, there are more officers than counselors in the largest public school districts, plural. New York City, Chicago, Miami-Dade have far more security officers, included school-based resource officers and police than counselors. I would like to take a pause. You remember the little girl that got knocked out by the school resource officer? And that I kept talking about why did a school resource officer come and get her and why not a counselor? Somebody needed to come get that baby and say, come on. We need to talk. Whatever's going on, you being real hard-headed right now, let's talk it out. That's what I remember in school when you had a listening problem, when you didn't want to do right, get right. Somebody sat you down and talked to you, not knocked you out. Sometimes we do need a knockout, though. But I remember if the teacher thought something was wrong with you, you had a bad day, you came into school looking crazy, teacher's like, go down to the counselor. For what? Just go down to the counselor. Apparently you need some you time. What happened to that? That means 3 of the 5 largest school districts in the country prioritize school security above students' mental health. Mental health is one of the things that we ignore most in our community. In other communities, that there's probably more counselors than there are teachers and students. The 74, a news outlet dedicated to education coverage, reported that 4 out of the 10 largest public school districts in the U.S. have more officers than counselors. New York City, the largest public school system, has roughly 6 security officers and 3 counselors for every 1,000 students. In Chicago, the 3rd largest school district, there are about 4 officers and 2 counselors for every 1,000 students. Miami-Dade County, the 5th largest district, has approximately 3 times more security staff than counselors counselors. In Houston, the seventh largest district, there are 78 counselors per 1,000 compared to the 1.16 officers. Oh, I take that back. 0.78. So not even one. There's not even one counselor per 1,000 students in comparison to the 1.16 officers. I guess the way they did the math, it came out as a fraction decimal. When the security social workers were included, officers outnumbered people who offered emotional and academic support in New York City, Chicago, and Houston. Our goal is to provide a safe, respectful, and supportive environment for all students to thrive. If that's the case, why don't we hire somebody that can not only knock you the hell out, but then can mentally, figure out what's going on with you as well? Because if we're going to have security officers outnumber the number of counselors, why not hire somebody that can do dual roles? I was just thinking, I have a cousin, doesn't have the most squeaky clean background, but he works with kids. He gets through to these kids. Why do we think that hopping in a pasture, like Tayla cannot get through to any of some of these kids in the street? Some of these kids in the street that have lived in the street and have this culture mindset and the horrendous things that happen to them on a daily basis, I can't reach out to these children. They're going to look at me like, chick, you grew up on a farm. Like, we have nothing in common. Don't talk to me. But why do we not allow, and I know there are some programs, but why, we're too worried about somebody's Corey. You used to do this, and you used to do that. Well, great. You used to be a kid too. We don't allow people with the experience that these children are going through to actually reach out and talk to these kids in the space in which they need to be spoken to. Their schools, their after school program. You have to have a squeaky clean Corey, but yet these children's mindsets and the things that they live through isn't squeaky clean. How can you expect a counselor that's never been through anything to try to get through and understand? It's more than psychology sometimes. Sometimes a child just needs to understand that you know where they're coming from. I'm getting on a soapbox because that's not today. That's not today's topic. America may dump algebra as of a new study finds that it is the main cause of high school dropouts and only 5% of jobs needed. If that's the case, why are we learning about science? Why are we learning? Listen, I don't remember anything from geography class. Not geography. What's the class that you learn about rocks and minerals and sedimentary rocks and lava and stuff like that? What is that? That's not science class. It is science class, but it's like a special department. I don't know. There's a lot of things in science and math that we do not use on a regular basis. And for America to say, listen, we're just going to dump algebra, I don't think that's the smartest way to go. Maybe some of these other maths that people can't even describe, can't tell you X plus Q times 5. I know there's a lot of engineering jobs that need that, but some of these kids, like Anari's math right now, he's only in 7th grade. And his math, I swear, supersedes any of the knowledge I have of mathematics. Is he going to need that for school? Do we just dump that too? Oh, history. We don't need that. What do you mean? America may dump algebra because they find that it's the main cause of children dropping out and only 5% of jobs need it. So what happens to the 5% of those jobs that need algebra and the children aren't getting the algebra? Millions drop out of school when they fail 9th grade algebra. A study finds 1 in 4 9th graders don't finish high school after failing algebra. Only 5% of jobs require the formula-based math course. Educators are now looking at statistic-based math curriculum. We'll see how that works out. I definitely will keep up with that story. Wharton College, Lord have mercy. Wharton County prosecutor says that he was told to keep blacks off the jury. He said that I wasn't per se told or instructed, in air quotes, but I was advised or encouraged to do so as a matter of trial strategy. Whatever the true intentions behind the statements made in our office, they made me feel uncomfortable. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled it illegal for attorneys to consider race when deciding who gets on a jury. A prosecutor in Wharton County accused elected district attorney of working repeatedly to keep blacks off the jury in a rural county southwest of Houston. So, never gonna get it. I saw a meme yesterday that said, you know what? I'm really glad Donald Trump ran for president, because now we get to see all the racism that apparently doesn't exist. I love stories like this because it goes to show that it's really not a conspiracy, baby. This is real life, and people are going through this everywhere. I want to say that is a chica. Shout out to my 11-year-old. Ooh, my baby. I don't know if you guys remember the story that I told you, the little black girl who was selling lemonade, and they were like, nah, not in my house. You better get a patent. You better get some sales papers. You better go get a tax ID. It's unacceptable. Don't think you're going to just sit here and sell lemonade. Do you guys remember that story? It was about a year ago. You remember that? Reggie B's in the building. Shout out to Reggie B. Work to do. Michaela Ulmer, she's 11 years old. She's an entrepreneur that landed $1 million deal with Whole Foods for her natural lemonade. Ulmer was featured on the show Shark Tank when she won $60,000 for her Bee Sweet lemonade business. Ever since then, she's been taking off. Along with her mother, she decided to do research on bees and learn more about why bees are becoming endangered. Monsanto. Instead of using sugar, she decided to use honey as a sweetener. While she was afraid of bees, she also wanted to save them. According to reports, Ulmer used her grandmother's recipe to create lemonade that will be sold in 55 Whole Foods stores. In addition to her distribution deal with Whole Foods, she also has one with United Natural Foods. In addition to being a student, she plans to lead workshops on how to save bees and also wants to visit South Africa to teach little girls about being entrepreneurs. She has been to the White House to meet the president and the first lady at the kids' state dinner. 11 years old, my baby just landed $60,000 for a lemonade company, and she has a distribution deal in 55 stores and Whole Foods. I think this is absolutely amazing. I know I can be what I want to be. I love it. I love it. These are why we have to speak life into our children. I go back to yesterday's show where Reggie B, how you felt about yesterday's show with the little kids, the Mel track, the education, animation, anime. I love it. I think it's one of the smartest things. I'm kind of sad that it didn't come out when I was a little kid. I was too busy singing Lamb Chops Play Along when I could have been singing, Egypt, the Nile. Like
Egypt with a Y? Why?
Okay, Reggie, you want to bring in some history to it, huh? I'm so excited for what they have rolling out and what parents can use and the tools and resources and the ability to homeschool. And even if you don't homeschool, supplement education, especially when it comes to that Black History Month. It's called Black History, not African American in America History Month. Yeah. So I would love it for us to.
I think yesterday's show was dope because hearing that track of the song, it brought me back, to myself. I wish I had that when I was a child growing up myself. It was kind of dope listening to that. And you said like the whole 2 minutes it played. I listened. I stopped what I was doing and actually listened.
So you were the no, you're older than me. You weren't a Lamb Chops Play Along. Nah. For those who weren't listening yesterday, here's a really quick snippet.
Exploring ancient Africa. We're going to a different time zone where our ancestors always sat on the throne. We're going to a different time zone. We're going to a different time. We're going to a different time zone. We're going to a different time. We're going to a different time zone where our ancestors always sat on the throne. Yeah, and I'm talking about you and me. Our reputation considered greatness and royalty. So rise up, sons and daughters of a KB land. It's time to claim our riches and take back our land. So come and take this journey, and when you come back, tell your friends and family all about the mail track. The mail track, mail track, mail track. The mail track, mail track. It's time to take it back to the base. And talk about it now. The original Garden of Eden, where the oldest bones of land was found. Just look around, paradise to the flesh, nothing less than a best. Attention on this earth, priceless is what it's worthless. Why we building cities and homes, statues out of stone? Bet you thought that all the great structures were in Rome. Travel from the south, as you as where you at. They had many pieces of shot to put them on a map. A boy, yeah, already changed the whole lifestyle. Part of Buffalo and let it spin through the crowd. I can hear them coming, I can hear them chant. And then the boy,
don't that sound like Wu-Tang? Like some Wu-Tang stuff.
Speaking of the ancestors,
Those are supposed to be the Shaka Zulu warriors.
Say that again?
I think they're supposed to be the Shaka Zulu warriors.
They can, we can, but you gotta take it back. Ladies is the lead with me, do no track. Let your mind keep on. Take pride in who you are. To let your world see you stand tall. Oh, what's that all new places that stuck out? Valley, Sun, Gay, Ghana, I'm talking about, no doubt. There were many more we could explore. What you here for a limited time to take a tour, so let's go. Let's walk in their shoes. Where you come from, great, but you gotta pay dues. Don't speak, so you gotta miss the ship. Let me back, but you gotta get your mind intact. So now track. Mail track, mail track, mail track. Mail track, mail track. Mail track, mail track, mail track. Mail track, mail track.
Mail track. Hey. For those who weren't tuned in yesterday, those are little snippets from the show. The first episode teaching on history. Mail track is the history portion. They're coming out with a math and science portion. Educators, parents, please support. Go to Ed Anime. So it's EDANIME
or something like that.
IE. Yeah, anime. I think. Go back to yesterday's show. Yeah, it's on Mixcloud. You'll love it.
You gotta teach the babies that.
You gotta teach the babies. We have a caller on the line right now. 617-282-0062. Good Rising Caller, you're live.
Good morning, Tayla. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I found something yesterday on the internet that I think you might be interested in because you've been hammering the VRA, and rightfully so, very well. It's called CPA, Community Preservation Act.
Hold on. Say that again one more time, baby. Say that one more time.
Sure thing. It is called CPA, the Community Preservation Act. Now, I'll try and get it up to your page today. There's a website on the internet and how to build one, how to make one. I believe it would help the neighborhoods that you're concerned with, help them keep their original identity. I believe that was the main point of having the CPA, the Community Preservation Act. I'll try and get it up onto your page later today. If I can't, my apologies, but I just wanted to make you aware of something, or actually a tool that you might be able to use to help preserve some of the neighborhoods that I think you said it's gentrification is what's going on.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to give you maybe another tool to help you guys out.
So I thank you so much. Love and appreciate you. While you were talking, I looked it up. We have here in Massachusetts the Community Preservation Coalition working for the Community Preservation Act. And they are located on Milk Street here in Boston. And then there was a recent article in the Boston Globe. Shout out to the Boston Globe. Boston is losing out by not adopting the Community Preservation Act. Renee Loth, shout out to you, baby. Those lucky folks in Acton over the past several years have purchased more than 30 acres of farmland and open space, created a wildflower garden and accessible boardwalk at the Acton Arboretum, started working for their section of a 22-mile rail trail from Lowell to Framingham, and Gloucester residents have leveraged funding for 80 units of affordable elderly and an old grammar school, replaced historic lead glass windows at the Cape Ann Museum and restored Depression-era WPA murals at City Hall. In Cambridge, they have preserved hundreds of affordable rental units that were about to expire, stabilizing an eroding slope of fresh pond to protect the drinking water, and transferred millions of dollars into the Housing Trust Fund. All these communities and 157 others recognize the value of protecting their economy, environmental, and cultural assets through the State Community Preservation Act. So what's the matter with Boston? We didn't know. I would have to say exactly. Thank you for that, baby.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You as well. I love our listeners.
That's dope.
Our listeners like, oh, you have a problem? Hold on. I got a solution.
That's dope.
I got a solution. So really quickly, I'd like to finish this article. It's not that long. 15 years after then Governor Paul Cellucci signed the law allowing individual communities to add a small surcharge to their property taxes to be used for affordable housing, open space acquisition, or historic preservation, Boston still has not joined. Lord have mercy. Hallelujah. All right. So I was listening to a community member. And listen, what is Power Hour? Power Hour is talking about the community. You want to talk about Stop and Shop? Let's talk about Stop and Shop. You want to talk about the BRA? Let's talk about the BRA. You want to talk about what's going on in Boston? Let's talk about what's going on in Boston. I want to know who's going to save Boston. James Brown saved Boston. Great documentary if you've never seen it. When James Brown came in and played for free, trying to quiet down and settle down the protesters and the rioters and people who was like, forget this, we're about to burn it down. But who's going to save Boston now? Yeah. A lot of people feel like the mayor's not doing much. A lot of people feel like the BRA has end-all, be-all powers. When 10 city councilors voted for the BRA, who's voting for the people?
Zero.
Who's voting? No. There's three of them.
I knew you was going
City Councilor at large, Ayanna Presley. Shout out to you, baby. City Councilor Tito Jackson and City Councilor Josh Zakum. Yeah. Those were the only three people that had
the people's back.
Oh, I was going to say something else.
Okay.
I was going to say the huevos. They had the huevos to do what needed to be done. But I will not tell a lie. I have reached out to our city councilors. I have sent every single last one of them at large and district a question. For those that voted in favor of the BRA, I said, why? Why have you voted in favor? Tito Jackson has his people working on it and will get back to us within the next week. Michelle Wu has reached out, and Michelle says, hi, Tayla, thanks for the email. I completely agree with advocates that the BRA needs major reform and the city needs an effective planning agency that includes residents. On why I voted for a 6-year urban renewal extension, there are many parcels under urban renewal contracts that guarantee affordable housing, and the BRA needs some period of time to identify, digitalize, and inventory them. My personal feelings is that 5 years would be the right amount of time for completing the land disposition agreement. Again, for those that are just now tuning in, this is an email from Michelle Wu, City Councilor Michelle Wu, on why she voted in favor of the BRA. The land disposition agreement inventory to make sure we are maintaining affordable housing protections, getting feedback from affected communities, applying it all to update the urban renewal area boundaries and blight definitions, and then coming back to the council for real extension requests. However, there was a strong opposition to a 5-year timeline because that would have landed us on an election year and politicized the conversation, which is true, because people would have been like, oh, I'm going to do this, and we would have voted for them thinking they were going to do right by us. We thought y'all 10 were going to do right by us, but you voted in favor of the BRA, so you might not be voted in again. In weighing whether to allow an additional year beyond my stated maximum, I asked the BRA to commit to some larger reforms beyond the urban renewal conversation. Namely, I asked for 1, a full budget transparency. Historically, the BRA operations budget has been left out of the city budget materials. Pause. In the last 18 months, they have spent $5 billion in 18 months. $5 billion. How much of those dollars have you seen? How much of those dollars have you been able to work with? How many of those dollars have opened businesses in Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan? Pause. How many of those dollars have opened businesses downtown Boston from people who live in Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan? Okay, continuing. Not only publicly available documents at top level summaries recently posted to the BRA's website, and 2, changes to the Article 80 process. I got a strong commitment for budget transparency from the BRA. Pause. Listen, I had a commitment too. I was in a relationship, got 2 kids, didn't get a ring. That commitment didn't end so well. I don't hear anything about a contract. I don't hear anything about, a document, an ordinance, a law. I just have some conversations about somebody asking, I asked the BRA to commit. Why the hell are we asking a quasi-governmental organization for anything? We should have cut them at the knees. Cut all the tall trees. Cut all the tall trees. They're one of the tall trees that need to be cut. I got a strong commitment for budget transparency from the BRA's CFO to present revenue sources, operation spending, capital projects, and staffing details at the city's council budget hearing, and to seriously explore the community process reforms with the council. I've been pushing for a written decision I need you to understand the knowledge in which a city councilor is using to describe the Boston Redevelopment Authority, not agency, authority. Listen, Boston Housing Authority doesn't have any damn authority. Metropolitan Housing Authority doesn't have any damn authority. But the BRA is the end all be all. We get zoning privileges, eminent domain. Remember the story I read just a few days ago with the 75-year-old woman who's been in her house since she was a little girl. She bought her house. Yes. They wanted to offer her $900,000. She was like, no. They said, okay, $1.2 million. She said, no.
She knows the value.
I'm asking the city council. I'm asking the BRA if they possibly could, because that's what I hear. When I read this, when I spoke to Andrea Campbell, because I don't have anything in writing from her, she actually called me and spoke to me about how she wanted no years. She voted for no years on the BRA, and she had to agree to the 6 years. And there's more to City Councilor Michelle Wu's email. I'll post it if you guys want me to. If not, as a city councilor, I don't know what I would have done, but I feel as if I would have said, we're not voting on anything today. I'm voting 0, nothing. I'm going to be like Clarence Thomas. I'm not talking at all. I have nothing to say until we have a real conversation. So the hearing in which that city councilors voted yay or nay, that should have been an open community discussion on whether or not we should vote yay or nay. Not the vote itself. It should have been a conversation on whether or not we need to vote yay or nay.
They do a lot of closed door business.
They do a lot of closed door business. Yeah. And I want to know, I've been pushing for decisions. I asked the BRA, namely I asked for, why this, you don't need to ask your city councilor, you have power. And if y'all would have put your fingers together, all 10 of you would have had, it's not perfect, but it's realistic. That's how she ended the conversation in email. Michelle Wu. I have so much respect for her. I have a lot of love for her, but I don't respect this vote. I don't respect this vote. Lastly, she said, most importantly, the BRA agreed to council oversight meetings every 6 months. What if you whooped your kids every 6 months? What if you chastised your children every 6 months? Don't do that again. Take out the trash on Mondays and Thursdays. we're going to revisit this conversation in 6 months. And I hope you get your act together.
But
what?
Like I said, what's that going to do? They're gonna keep
You've been doing what you wanted to do for the past 60 years. Mel King tried to defeat you. Didn't happen. Yep. They may have defeated Mel King, though.
Mm-hmm. No, he's still fighting.
He is a fighter.
He's a fighter.
I'm upset. I'm angry, and I'm frustrated.
Mm.
I'm frustrated. You may not feel as if we have power. We don't have power as far as this presidential election is concerned. They're going to vote in whoever they want to vote in. Mm-hmm. We saw that with George Bush. Who cares? But on the local level, I got the power. Like, you have power when it comes to the local level. You can make sure that these city councilors that voted for the BRA aren't voted back in. Mm-hmm. You have the power to do that.
Absolutely.
You have the power to pick up the phone. And I love when I spoke to Andrea Campbell. I love the fact she was like, a lot of people were calling and emailing and asking us, why did we vote in favor? And people have a lot of questions. I'm glad. Keep calling. Mm-hmm. And the number was posted on the Wake Up with Tayla Andre page. Reggie, can we reshare that? Can you?
Look it up.
And dual effort? No. Can you just later reshare it so it's back on the top of the page? Yeah. Call your city councilors. Just because the decision's already been made, let them know. I spoke to McCarthy. I spoke to McCarthy on the phone, told him I wasn't happy. One of the things he said was like, I'm sorry you can't vote for me based on this decision, but I feel like I made a good decision.
You feel?
He feels like I made a good decision. I'm sorry you can't vote for me. Hopefully I can make it up to you. I'm not even in his district. Okay. But there is somebody that feels as if they can't call. Their voice isn't heard. And I called as if I was every single last one of their constituents.
Okay.
And because the amount of messages, the amount of emails, the amount of phone calls, 617-282-0062, of people who are concerned, that do have questions, that don't want to get involved, I feel like I represent them on some level. I might not be a city councilor, but when you call me complaining and you seeking a solution and I'm making phone calls on your behalf, I feel like I represent somebody.
The amount of calls, the amount of emails, the amount of Facebook posts that I say about you, you need to run.
Run away, run. Run away, run away. You know what, Reggie, in all honesty, I don't say this often.
I can run with you.
But I'm scared, Reggie. I don't like losing. Do you know how bad it hurt me when I did not get my real estate license the first time?
Can I tell you something?
What?
How many times did Charlie Baker run for governor before he got it?
How many times?
3. That I can think of. 3.
Listen, he almost didn't win this now. Oh, I don't like losing. And I'm fearful of the $60,000 that you have to raise for fundraising. Fundraising's no joke.
I think you'll get it.
I can barely fundraise my own household right now.
I think with the amount of listeners you have, they'll raise $60,000 for you.
It's just I can be honest. It's a fear-based decision. I don't think I'm ready, but I also believe that maybe 2020 might be best for me. I want to be that representative that knows everything. I want to be that Millie Grant. Like, you name something that nobody else knows about, and Tayla knows. And not only do I know, but I know when it started, who started it, and why is it important. I don't want to run because I feel like I don't know, because that's kind of a good reason to run, because I feel like there's nobody else out here doing what needs to be done. But I don't want to be uneducated making wrong decisions, and I might need Yancy on my side.
You don't want to do it premature.
Yes, thank you, Reggie.
Okay. All that with one word I just gave you.
Yes.
Premature.
That works. But lastly, to this city councilor, Michelle Wu, her letter, her email back on why did you vote in favor to the BRA? Most importantly, the BRA agreed to council oversight meetings every 6 months, which I believe is frequent enough for us to monitor the status of the inventory and redrawing boundaries. And it will also allow us to ensure the participation and feedback of the community. leaders in the affected areas. This is effectively the oversight committee I propose, although the accountability mechanism is more public pressure than legal hammer. Hold on, let's go back. Michelle Wu, city councilor. This is effectively the oversight committee I propose, although the accountability to the BRA mechanism is more public pressure than legal hammer. What does that mean? That means the more people that itch and complain, the more voices will be heard, the more we can get something done.
Yep.
When two or more touch and agree, and when a whole bunch of people come out and rally,
Things change.
yeah. I'm not marching. Marching don't change nothing. Protesting don't change nothing. But Michelle Wu said it's more about public pressure, and you don't have to be like the students and get up out of work and meet at 11:30. But what you can do is send emails, make phone calls, and what Takwa say, flood their phone lines so they can't do any other business but this BRA business.
Maybe adults need to do a BLS, walk out from work.
Listen, these corporations will fire you. This is an at-will state too. Bye. Bye, Felicia. You know how many people need jobs?
Yeah, so that's the reason why they ain't doing it. Careful.
No, it's not even. Oh, maybe the American people, the Boston citizens are fearful as well.
Hello.
Let's take our fear out together. We got a call on the line, 617-282-0062. Wake up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. We're talking about the community. Who's going to save Boston? Is all of this construction good or bad for the community? What are we really doing? The Boston Globe reported that a woman who's been in her house for years, she said, you can't buy me $1.2 million. Where am I going to go? The people in the community, I don't even know my neighbors anymore. I used to know my neighbors. Now I don't even recognize the neighborhood. Good Rising, Caller, you live.
Good rising, guys. How you doing today?
Hey, Harrison, I missed you, baby. How are you?
I miss you too, baby. I'm all right. Look, Tayla, you're gonna need like $68,000 because I'm gonna give you $2,000.
Woo!
I'll vote for you.
You gonna vote for me, Harrison?
Yeah, and I'll give you $2,000.
Woo, that's a huge contribution. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Also, these the people that buying the people's land and all that, they want to destroy the communities because when you have those big buildings, they go like $4,000 2 bedrooms. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I built. So this is not good for the community at all. Because everybody that has like 2 family, 3 family houses, they're gonna have to get out and give it to the government or somebody that owns the bank or something. Mm-hmm. That's not good at all.
Mm. So Harrison, you said I did this, I do this. What does that mean? Can you expound upon that for a moment?
No, I built those buildings.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, they're beautiful buildings. They add value to the city. We're already a tourist city. People already come and love our city. And the amount of people that are moving here.
I have to tell you also, this is a new era, a new generation. This is what it's going to be. People won't live like in small houses like that anymore. They will live in those kind of stuff.
In high rises and condos. But nobody wants that white picket fence anymore. Nobody wants. So, Harrison, let me ask you a question. Do you think the price of houses are going to go down in neighboring towns since Boston is going to be so high, or do you think housing is going to be higher?
I tell you what's going to happen. The same people you see that's moving in those buildings, they have money because they are young professionals and married couples, and this is the type of people. But the people that own the house right now, maybe they're working 2 jobs to pay for the mortgage and stuff. They're gonna have to give up and go get live far away, like where they can pay less. That's what's gonna happen. It's like the depopulation of the people that live in the I won't say depopulation, but de-urbanization of the people that live in the area around the city. They're gonna have to send them far away. So a new group of people will come live in the city.
Thank you, Harrison. I love you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have an awesome day today. Yeah, you too. 617-282-0062. Thank you to the callers that have been patiently waiting. For those that hung up, 617-282-0062. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good morning, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I got one question, right? How come the political process is like this? How come we vote people in office, and then once we vote them in office, they do whatever they want? Why is it not like this? Why is it not like when we vote people in office?
Pause. Hold on. You asked a really quick question. Let me give you an answer. Because y'all don't vote. That's why.
Hey, but check this out. Why is it not? Why can't we vote the people in office, but always actually vote on everything that they vote on too? Why can't they come up with basically an app that basically explains everything that they're voting on in plain terms, not just other government attorney terms? They vote on. They send you an app where you're a registered voter. You put your email down. They send you the information on what it's being voted on, when it's being voted on, when there's a discussion on it, and what is the law in plain English saying. And all you have to do on your app is look at it. And then when you look at it, you can go down to where they're voting and actually show your face and see how they are voting. And then you say your frustration. You say why you're for that vote, why you're not for that vote. And then you cannot complain because you showed up, and they have to vote the way you want them to vote. Why are we voting these people and then they vote for what they want? Okay, we voted them in, so they should be voting the way we want, not the way they want. Not what's best for them, what's best for the amount of people that show up. Basically, they need to vote the way whoever shows up. So basically, if you don't show up, you can't complain. So now, if all of us show up, they have no choice but to vote the way we vote. So why is it like that? They're always voting the way they want to vote. We vote
because we have a political process that has been in place for eons and eons and eons, and it has yet to change. But baby, I'm with you. I thought it was a wonderful idea for us to use our phones and our social. If you can pay your excise tax and pay your card, what is sales tax and everything else, you can pay that online. The city just sent me an email talking about, hey Taylor, your excise tax is due. If you can do that, why you can't send me an email and telling me what my city councilor voted on and yay, nay, and how this affects me and whether or not. I'm with you 100%. I think we should have an app for that. There's an app for that. At least there should be.
There should be an app for that. Why? I mean, I don't understand what there's an app for everything else. Why is there not an app for that? That explains the law in English.
Because there's a whole bunch of people that's like, oh, the political process can't be done through an app, and it could be tainted, and somebody can have their information stolen, and we have 1,000,001 excuses on why it can't be done. But in the state of Massachusetts, where MIT and Harvard right down the street, I think we have a solution in the works, hopefully.
You know what it is? You know what I realize it is? It's because they want to make it more confusing than it actually is. They just like the stock market. We could all invest in the stock market if we knew the ins and outs of it, but they make it more complicated than it really is, so we can't do it. They make it seem like we can't do it, but they don't want to give us the right information and settle it down, so we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? They just want to make it more complicated than it really is. It's not that complicated. How complicated is it for you to translate something into plain English? It's not. You just don't want us to know what it's really holding on. That's what it is.
Well, I'm with you. I love you. I appreciate you. I think there should be an app for that. It is what it is. How long have we been dealing with this nonsense? How long have we been in the know? We've known. We just don't feel like we can do anything about it, so we don't. And I hate that. You can vote. Your vote does matter. City Councilor Michelle Wu reached out. We also had City Councilor Tito Jackson reach out. We haven't received a statement from him yet. We spoke to it was McCarthy. I was right. It was McCarthy. I voted to extend Boston Redevelopment Authority's urban renewal powers with the provisions that we will have more oversight of the organization with the proper enforcement. This agreement has potential to continue to transform the neighborhoods that are sorely in need of resources. And my second part to my question was, the mayor lobbied city councilors? Were you one of the city councilors that were lobbied? I am an independent thinker, lobbied or not, I vote my gut. And that was McCarthy, city councilor Tim McCarthy. So I'm waiting on Matt O'Malley, because Matt O'Malley actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting Matt O'Malley to vote in favor of the BRA, because he more often than not votes, which would seem like in favor of what the black vote votes for. I had no other way to say what I was trying to say as far as O'Malley is concerned. I think O'Malley does a lot of common sense, if that makes sense. He does a lot of common sense voting, and he kind of lost me on this one. So I'm really interested in seeing what his feedback is going to be as far as the BRA, and who attended last night's meeting for Stop and Shop being closed. You guys want to talk about Stop and Shop? You want to stop talking about the BRA? I want to talk about the city. I want to talk about gentrification. I want to talk about affordable housing not being freaking affordable. Oh, the affordable housing, they're going to have more affordable housing. Don't call it affordable housing just because it's $1,000 cheaper than $4,000. I still can't afford it. Harrison's right. Those apartments are crazy. Call the Seaport. Ask any one of those buildings, how much is a 2-bedroom apartment? Oh, that's going to be $3,800. First, last, security. How much money are you making to be able to afford to live in these places? And then if you're on the low income subsidized, you're still paying more than you would pay. You're still paying astronomical rates. You still can't make ends meet. It's not 30% of your income. It's definitely not. I remember when my baby called up here and said, Tayla, I did everything right. I went to school, got a good job, got married, had a 2-parent household. Unfortunately, we got in a divorce. I still make good money, and I can't afford to live in Jackson. Nowhere near Jackson. I get that's now JP. All of the Jackson area is now JP. What are we gonna do? Who's gonna save Boston? Who's saving Boston? When we have 3 city councilors making decisions and 10 other city councilors supersede the 3, who's really for Boston? And I was surprised Andrea Campbell voted the way she did. But her and I had a conversation. I'm going to try and get her up here so she can explain why she did what she did and how she feels this could be helpful for us. And you know what? In all honesty, what I heard, I'm going to be transparent. What I heard from Andrea Campbell was that we want Mattapan done too. Like we want Mattapan to be as pretty as Roxbury is. We want Mattapan to look beautiful. We want some new buildings in Mattapan. We want that BRA money. But my thing is, why does the BRA have to be the end all be all? Why does the BRA have to have these powers? Why can't we just, again, I go back to the bells, the Southwest bell, the Southern bell, the East bell, the Western bell, and then they became Bell Atlantic. All these different bells became one bell. But yet they were little companies, little subsidiaries. But then they turned into a monopoly. We have a monopoly here. And I want to go back and thank our caller, the Community Preservation Act. I'm going to talk to some of the leaders, maybe reach out to Ayanna Pressley, Tito Jackson, and see if Josh Zakem, because these were the 3 that voted against the BRA. They said we don't negotiate with monopolies. And I thank you for it. The Community Preservation Act, the CPA, what was it, 157 communities in the state of Massachusetts use the CPA. Maybe we need to too. I have some messages over here. Good rising, Tayla. I'm listening. I see you, baby. I see you. Homeless high rise. Mine is $3,500 a month. This is a 1-bedroom. Mine is $3,500 a month. I pay $1,351 a month. They put me above market rent and called it affordable. Anybody else? 617-282-0062. They put me above market rent and called it affordable. The 1-bedroom apartment on the, what's the name? I want to name it. Can you send me the name of the apartment? I want to name it. 1351. Put it above market rent and called it affordable. Good rising, caller. Can you afford market rent?
Good morning, Tayla. How you doing?
Oh yeah, you set market rent. I forgot.
Well, I have one question. I'm really totally against it because it's just the way they're doing it. Because as you can see, you mentioned in Seaport 3,800 is probably for about a bedroom with a den. But for 2 bedrooms, you're looking at about $4,500 down there around Seaport, 45 to 5,000.
So the 1-bedroom, I know it has a living room, kitchen, which is like 1 room, and then a bedroom.
That's like 3,800. But for 2 bedrooms with 2 baths, you're looking at about 4,500 to 5,000.
Where on earth is that affordable? Even if you cut that in half, where is that affordable?
Yeah, that's the problem. Back then, when they used to do the lottery, because that's what I do. When they used to do the lottery for like low income, it used to be like what Section 8 pays. Let's say Section 8 pays 1,200. The low income will be paying 1,200 into these buildings. So what these buildings end up doing, saying, all right, let's take a couple of $1,000 off the, let's say you were renting $5,000 2-bedroom. It took a couple of $1,000 and bring it to $3,000. And then Boston Housing sign off of it, and that's affordable. But back then, before that, they had to keep the same rules, like the same way, what we used to pay for a regular 2-bedroom, 1,200. It would be like it, but like you said before, all the city councilors, lobbyists, give them money to vote yes to change the law. The thing is, I need to talk this one. I've been calling this radio for 5 to 6 years. Guys, it's a new generation going up. It's a reality. It's not the TV we're watching anymore. We have to vote people out people who we vote in saying that they were going to be for us and then end up slap us in the face. We need to vote them out. If we don't take voting serious, it's going to get worse and worse. As you can see, look your neighborhood. Look what's going on in your neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood, and the neighborhood's really going. And it's not just the article in the Boston Globe of there's my old neighbor in Dorchester. I spoke to her recently, and she's like, Tayla, I don't know what's going on. I want to give her a huge shout out because she hooked me up with a whole bunch of tomatoes. She's like, I don't know the neighbors anymore. These kids aren't regular kids. Like, there's a 10-year-old that looks like they're like 14. I know that has nothing to do with the neighborhood, but she's like, things have changed so drastically that I'm not recognizing anything but I never moved. But I feel like everything around me has.
That's what's going on. The thing is, we need to take serious is that once they're in, they're not coming out. We're going to have to force be out. Because they already start doing all these repairs to the train station, to the railroad. Guess who's going to take over? You guys know that. As you can see in Roxbury. I was driving by Roxbury. I'm like, what the hell? I'm seeing a lot of folks that I know in like 5 years. The last 5 years will never take a walk down the street on that neighborhood. But it's reality. If we sit around, don't go vote, I'm sorry. We're just going to be doing it.
So, hey, in Brockton, school system is horrible. Horrible. And even Randolph has declined seriously. I remember when Randolph used to be a really good school. Randolph has seriously declined. I want to talk about the fact that look at So I got a message over here that says that it's not just the Seaport District. Look at the apartments that are going up by Forest Hills. So that whole time they've been promising us that they were going to fix the damn bridge. They ain't never fixed the bridge because they knew exactly what they were going to do. They were going to tear the bridge down to begin with because they had I think that bridge was broke for 15, 17 years. The bridge was broken before Nari was born. Nari's 12 years old. That bridge, say that 10 times fast. The bridge has been broken for years. And I feel like they knew exactly what they were going to do. They just weren't telling us about it. There's condos that are going up, and they tore down the building across the street. It's been a while since I've been over there. They tore down the building across the street from the car wash. That's about to be some more apartments. If you just drive around, you're like, I don't reckon the skyline is different. And I get it. I understand. You know, we have money coming into the city. We have a lot of tourists. Like, we need this. This is good. This is great for the city. But it's bad for the community.
You got it. You got it. That's what's going on. The community, they actually, what they're doing is just dividing our community, because if you can't afford it, where are you going to try to go? It's either driving all the way to Fall River, you know, where things that, you know, that you could afford. But if we had elected a mayor that's like, wait a minute, I don't mind you guys doing those new rehab in our city, but we need to, you know, the community who was living in there first,
we need to take care of the people that have been here, that have never left here, instead of catering to the GE people that are about to come in here. And for those who don't know, there's a possibility that GE is going to be here rent-free for the next 20 years. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm pissed. Like, I'm so upset, and I don't think anybody understands how important this is, because you're like, damn, Tayla, mad for no reason. I'm switched to channel, but in 5 years, you're going to see the city do a switch up on you. I want to thank you, baby. I love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day. I have a message over here. You can hit me up anonymously, TaylaAndre, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can give us a call, 617-282-0062. We're talking about what's going on in the city. We're talking about the BRA. We're talking about Stop and Shop. Whatever you want to talk about as far as this city is concerned, let's talk about it. You want to talk about the city councilors? You want to talk about the mayor? What you want to talk about? Because it's not about me. It's about us. I'm not happy or excited about McCarthy. I would like to see a lot more people of color. Don't be afraid to run. I lost the first time. Look at Althea Garrison. She's been losing for the past 15 years, but she still continues. And another message, homeless high-rise, $3,500 a month for a one-bedroom. I pay $1,351 a month. They put me above market rent and call it affordable. We have 22 floors. Everything from the 15th floor and up starts at $7,000 and goes up to $15,000 a month. From the 7th floor up to the 15th floor to the 22nd floor starts at $7,000 a month and caps out at $15,000 for that penthouse. What's in your wallet? Nothing, because I can't even afford rent. Good rising, caller, you're live. Hey, good rising. How are you?
Going very well. I just want to touch base on this topic. Just speaking of this morning, I grew up in Roxbury, but I live in Mattapan now, near the not far from the Baker Chocolate Factory.
I got you. Lower Mills.
Yes. A couple of months ago, there was a couple of my neighbors told me. I had not heard about it until after the fact, but a couple of my neighbors, there was a neighborhood meeting about some redevelopment that was being proposed on River Street, on the end where near the Central Avenue Tea Stops.
Okay.
On River Street, there was a liquor store, and there's a River Street Grill. The proposal was to buy the property, knock those buildings down, build a high rise, and allow those two establishments to occupy the commercial space on the first floor. But along with that process was to put residential parking only in that area, along and on the side street to put parking meters. And from what I was told by
in Hyde Park,
Mattapan, on River Street in Mattapan, near the Star Market.
what?
From what I was told, the purpose of this, and I want to say that the high rise was going to be maybe 10 stories. I could be wrong on the number, but I believe it was 10 stories. And the residents of the neighborhood, of course, voted it down because it would have changed, as you stated, the skyline and the demographic of the neighborhood. And the way it was being proposed was they wanted to have the rents were going to be pretty high in the building, but they wanted the occupants to have access to just outside of Boston, so to speak, but to have access to the trolley so that they can get to Ashmont and take the train into town.
I got you.
That would have priced everyone out. Not everyone, but that would have priced the whole neighborhood would have just changed.
Absolutely.
Unacceptable, and the residents voiced their opinion on it, and I haven't heard a thing about it since. But I'm saying that to say, as you stated many, many times over the past couple of years, we do have a voice, but the residents of various neighborhoods need to be made aware of what's going on in their neighborhood so they can take part in these community meetings. Even though they may not be able to, to go down to the city hall and take part in votes, but these community meetings tend to take place, early evening, say 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock or so, and just come out and voice their opinion on things and put the pressure on their business.
So I'm with you 100% as far as community meetings, and I love how you started the conversation with my neighbor told me. I didn't know about it, but my neighbor knew about it. And this is, that goes back to neighborhoods, it goes back to community. And I think we have circulars, right? Circulars that come once a week. Don't everybody look at circulars anymore. They go straight in the garbage, but we waste that paper. Why don't they, I'm not saying cut down the tall trees and waste paper, but when community meetings happen, I don't see anybody with Post-it notes on their door saying we're having a meeting next week on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Like it's on a website, it's on, it might be the neighborhood development community place might have a few things on. I don't think that there is enough communication from the city councilors and the mayor's office to the people. I don't think there's enough communication. Maybe some more emails. I think the caller that called in last, the app is a great idea. And not just an app to report potholes, but an app for you to tell me what my city councilors are voting on, what's coming up next in the vote, what are they going to be discussing next week. These are the things that we should be informed of. These are the things that need to be pushed out like clockwork. People need to know exactly what's going on in the city. And I don't think that you should have to be a damn Taylor Andre trying to track it down and search for it, doing all types of research. It should just be there. Well, I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. 617-282-0062. Nobody attended that Stop and Shop meeting yesterday? Nobody mad about Stop and Shop? Anybody want to discuss that? We got another call on the line. 617-282-0062. TAYLA-ANDRE. Shout out to my cupcake. I love you, baby. Good rising, Callie, alive.
Good rising, Taylor.
Hey, T. Michael Thomas. How you doing, King?
This is the day. 31 Erie Street. This is a perfect time for your listening audience that coincide with what you're talking about with the development, and I will share a little information on that in a second. But first, I would like folks to show up at 31 Erie Street in Dorchester to voice their opinion in support of one of the city's property to go to People's Academy as a training and a job creation facility. That's number one. Number two, to add to what you're saying, all the city parcels from buildings to vacant land has been decision on what goes into those particular places has been decided since 2014 by the BRA, DND, and those neighborhood associations. So with us now coming to say, oh, wow, this lot is empty, they want to do a development there, we're 2 years too late. And that's what's been going on.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So really quickly, I wanted to ask you, how did it go with the state rep that I put you in contact with?
I was never had any contact with the individual. I wasn't able to contact that person.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give you his secretary or executive or whatever they call him now. I'll give you the information, and hopefully we can reach out together, because I want to see the People's Academy expand. I want to see the People's Academy taking in some of the youth, and even people who aren't youthful but are sick and tired of the job that they're in. Just an option to learn a trade, to get paid good money, and be able to move anywhere in the world and still be able to sustain yourself and your family by working with your hands. And I think for the people who don't know, please tell them what you do. Sheet Meadow, please, Martin Marvels on the History Channel, please let them know quickly.
We're a training component targeted on people in the Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan area, teaching them a trade to be part of the building the over $8 billion worth of construction. So, but what's important, 31 Erie Street today at 6 p.m. to turn out, they will see and learn more about People's Academy and its purpose and its value to our community and to the folks being trained in our community. This is very important that people turn out at this community meeting to voice their opinion on one of the properties, that it does not get in the hands of the developers that's been gentrifying them. This is our term. Great show, Taylor. I don't want to tie up the line. Thank you. I will be listening.
Thank you so much. I have a class tonight, so I won't be able to attend, but I'll be there in spirit. If I did not have to take this class, I would have been there. And, I'm in full support of the People's Academy and all that you do. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And for those that are interested, if you have a query, if you know a troubled kid that, dropped out of school, doesn't have a GED, but is really good with his hands, her hands, male, female, copper work is amazing work. It's a trade that you can do anywhere, everywhere in the world and still get paid really good money. Become part of the union if that's something that you're interested in. Please Google the People's Academy. T. Michael Thomas, we have another call on the line, 617-282-0062. Good rising, caller, you live.
Good morning, Taylor.
Good rising. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, Taylor. Good morning. I'm on my way to work. A little bit of traffic, but that's okay. Taylor, I'm going to give you 2 words. Simple atrocity. And all I want you to do is take a drive down in Dorchester and drive on Quincy Street, and you will see what's happening in our neighborhood. Thank you, and have a nice day, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, baby. I love and appreciate you. I think he's absolutely right as far as Quincy Street is concerned. When they put the food trucks on Quincy Street, I said, hold up. Food trucks on Quincy Street? This ain't about to be the Quincy Street you knew. Last time I checked, Quincy Street was one of them streets you just didn't want to walk down with a certain pair of sneakers, with a certain jacket, bubble coat. You might not want to do that, but food trucks on Quincy Street? The apartments that went up? Okay, I see what's going on here. He's right. He's right. How sick and tired do you need to be? You need to actually be kicked out of your house for you to care about your neighbor? Oh, I own my house. I ain't worried. Really? Because there's a whole bunch of elders that own their house too, but can't afford the damn property tax. We so worried about self and we forgot what it means to be a part of a community. Do you know your neighbor? When you pull out of your driveway or your parking space and your neighbor's standing outside, do you give them a dirty look? Do you not look at all? Or do you actually say, hey, how are you doing? Do your neighbors come over to your house when you have a cookout? This is how you know whether or not you're part of a community. Do all the neighborhood kids eat out of your refrigerator? This is how you know you're part of a community. Shoot, that's how I know I'm part of a community. All them little kids. Now I'm sorry to think they Captain Save everybody. But mommy, they only want a fruit snack. Lord have mercy. And then the kids don't like my fruit snacks. Where's Big D at when I need them? My fruit snacks are real fruit. Good rising, caller, you live.
Good,
How are you?
I'm fine. Everything's good. How are you doing?
I'm super fantastic.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you know what? Okay, so like we're going through a situation right now, a dilemma in society, especially our black society. But I never could like put a finger on like what was the title or what we're going through. But who I was watching the other day? Umar Johnson. Oh man, he came up with a good name for what we're going through, and the name he said was called radical individualism.
Radical individualism.
That's the word that this man said, and that's very strong, but I just want to throw it in the air, throw it at you if you ever watch him on, but that's what he calls it. We're going through radical individualism, and I kind of feel that way a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I feel he's right, but that's what I wanted to say.
Do you know exactly what radical individualism is?
Well, that's what we're going through right now. That's why we can't.
But what is it?
Everybody wants to be a radical individualist. And it seems like that's what's going on. Me. I.
Well, let's be radical community members. Can we do that? Can we be radical community members?
But I guess we'll make it sound. I was supposed to sound, but I just want to put that in the air. That was good.
Thank you, baby. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day. I can't. I try to do the best that I can as far as educating you, letting you know what's what. Shout out to Anonymous who just hit me up and said, Taylor, you're absolutely right. People don't know about community meetings until it's too late. How can we improve that? How can we improve that system that you get an update? Why not? Oh, okay. Maybe we don't need an app. You know how if you sign up for XYZ company that does not pay the Wake Up with Taylor Andre nor Big City 101.3 FM. How about that company? Just like companies send you updates. Hey, we got 20% off this week. If you buy such and such item, buy one, get one free. Why can't we get updates? You can subscribe to the city's updates and you get two different updates. You get updates about your personal city councilor, your personal state rep, your personal congressman. You get that individualized information that's tailored to you and your district. And then also you get citywide information as far as what's going on in the city, what new legislation is rolling out. And you can opt, just like when you get emails, you can unsubscribe. Don't contact me about sales, but contact me about your blog, or don't send me random messages. Only send me messages when I earn points, like that type of individual subscriptions to what you're interested in. So you're not getting all of these random text messages that you really don't want, or random emails that you really don't want, but you get the emails that are important to you. New community meeting with your city councilor located at blah, 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 in a text message, in an email. It's 2016. We have MIT and Harvard down the street. Is this not making sense to people? I'm surprised that we're still voting in voting booths. I would have thought in 2016 we would have been voting with our phones. We have phones that check your ID, your social security number, your fingerprint, your iris scan. Why can't you vote the same way? Taylor, you be asking for too much. I guess so. 617-282-0062. Good Rising, call you live.
Good Rising. How are you?
Hey, darling. How are you?
I am fine. You actually took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say to sign up for the mail list from the city of Boston, so I'm glad you put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I am not feeling gentrification at all. I am feeling some kind of way when I go through Roxbury and see people that don't look like us. It could be wrong the way I'm feeling, but it just is not sitting well with me. That's one thing. Two, you want to talk about Grove Hall. Where were the managers at Grove Hall to allow all this to be happening? I have a problem with that. And I think they need to either be fired or reprimanded because they knew there was a problem at this store. I think it was a customer that filed a complaint. Really? You go grab a piece of bread and a mouse has chewed through it? And why is this allowed in our neighborhood? I was livid when I saw that. Again, where was management? I don't even really shop in that Grove Hall.
I have a conspiracy theorist. You ready for it? The neighborhood is changing, and so that doesn't need to be a Stop and Shop, baby. That needs to be a Whole Foods.
Could be. That could be. But again, the people inside the stores, the workers, knew what was going on. Why was that allowed?
Are you gonna call the state and say I'm a horrible parent?
Horrible parent?
No, I'm just saying, are you gonna call, is a parent going to call the state and say, listen, can you call DSS, DYS, child services? Because I'm a horrible parent. So can you bring somebody out here, take my kids? Who's gonna snitch on themselves?
You know what though, but that's their job. That was beyond their control. They didn't bring the mice in. They knew that there was a mouse problem. Why wasn't this addressed ahead of time? That it had to get to this point. That sounds to me like these mice were just running all around the store. And all you see is people that don't look like us all up in our store inspecting it. I was like, oh my God, the optics were horrible about that. It was just horrible. It was horrible. I don't know who the store manager was, but they need to be fired as a result of that. They knew, and you want to allow customers to come in the store? I'm feeling that. I'm just not understanding how that was allowed. I don't understand it. Again, I don't even shop in there because the professionalism in that store is in the toilet. They're in there swearing. You don't swear when you're at work. You don't wear a do-rag around your head when you're at work. You don't wear your pants hanging on your butt when you're at work. So I'm like, no, I can't shop in that one. I'm sorry, I can't. Call me snobbish, call me whatever. I can't shop in that store. Now, look, you see, nothing but mice.
What you gonna see soon enough is nothing but food you can't afford. Wait for it, gentrification's real.
You're right. You know what? We need to have an organization that's a buffer that stops allowing all this stuff coming into our communities. We really do. They need to come to us before anything is done.
It's called city councilors, but when your city councilors don't vote in favor of their constituents and vote in favor of what's going to help them with their kickbacks, we have a problem. Houston, Boston, we have a problem. I don't know what the solution is, but we do have voting power, and you might not feel like you have any power on the presidential level, but guess what? Here in the city of Boston, you do have power. And unfortunately, those that we have power to elect and re-elect were the ones that were against the BRA to begin with. So there's certain other communities that have city councilors that are voting in favor. We don't know whether or not those constituents were in favor of this new change. Hey, push them all out. I don't want them here. But I love you, baby. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm over here just running my mouth. Caller on line 2. Good rising, baby. Do you have 2 seconds?
Hey, what's up, Jen? Hey, just real quick, the whole reason why this is not changing is because they still want to continue to strong arm the whole process. Because if we actually knew what was going on and we actually could understand some of these proposals, then we would be the one in office, not them. So they have to make it complicated for us. So we don't understand it and we think, oh, it's too complicated for us to get involved in. Politics is not complicated to get involved in. They make it complicated, but they make it complicated for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They just want to strong arm it and keep it where it's at. There's no real change. They don't want no real change. They want to find their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta have $100,000 to be a part of politics? Why you can't get 9 to 5 and be in politics? Why? It's money.
Money. Baby, 15 seconds are up. I love you. I appreciate you. Really quickly, Good Rising Caller, you're live.
So real quick, our people have a false concept of the word ours. Ours means owning. It ain't your neighborhood if you don't own the house you live in. Stop and shop. You don't own it. If you don't own it, you can't complain. Start owning your own stuff. We used to do it when we segregated.
You know what would be dope? You know what, Miss Nubian? I think it would be amazing if somebody's bodegas went ahead and, Black owned, Latin owned, everybody owned. I really don't care who owns it, just as long as it's ours owned. And go ahead and put their monies together and become, a firm and open up a store similar to Tropicals, but in place of the Stop and Shop, the Star Markets, in place of those, and just have neighborhood markets by Juan and Tyrone. That was so stereotypical, but you get it. You understand what I mean. We have come to, baby, I wish we had more time. I wish we had another hour. We unfortunately do not. There's nothing I can do about that, but we have reached the top of the hour. I love you. I appreciate you. If you want to continue this conversation, the conversation does not end at 7 a.m. We can have this conversation with your neighbors, have this conversation with your friends, your coworkers, your boss, have conversations with your city councilors. Just like you can call 617-282-0062, call your city councilor and say, listen, I have a question. I don't like what's going on in my community. I don't like the fact that I walk down streets and don't see people that look like me anymore. I don't like the fact that a 1-bedroom is $3,500. You give it to me for $1,351 above market rent and tell me that's affordable, and I can't afford to buy food in my refrigerator. Boston, we have a problem. I apologize that we weren't able to get all the callers in. But again, the conversation does not end at 7 a.m. Please continue this conversation with the people around you, people in front of you at the grocery store. Just talk, baby. Just talk about these problems so we can find solutions together. If you missed any of today's conversation, please head over to mixcloud.com, TAYLAANDRE. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome day today. Maltrack. Hey.
And Anime Productions presents Maltrack, Episode 1, Exploring Ancient Africa.
We're gonna do whatever time zone. Where our ancestors always sat on the throne. We're gonna do whatever time zone. We're gonna do whatever time. We're gonna do whatever time zone. We're gonna do whatever time. We're gonna do whatever time zone. Where our ancestors always sat on the throne. Yeah, and I'm talking about you and me. I think they should consider greatness and royalty. So rise up, sons and daughters of a KV land. It's time to claim our riches and take back our land. So come and take this journey, and when you come back, tell your friends and family all about the mail track.
Maltrack.
The original Garden of Eden, where the oldest book of land was found. Just look around, paradise to the flesh, nothing less than the best. Attention on this earth, price tax is what it's worth. That's why we building cities and homes, statues out of stone. Bet you thought that all the grand structures were in Rome. Travel further south, the Judas where you at. They had many pieces of shot to put them on a map. But yeah, Martin changed the whole lifestyle. Part of Buffalo and let it spin through the crowd. I can hear them coming, I can hear them chant. And men and boys on a rant. Back in 3000 BC, the Nile Valley was a place to be for you and me. The Nile River gave abundantly to human beings. I'm speaking of the ancestors that they went through. You can find it on the temples, pyramids, and decades. We develop paper so you can learn these lessons. If they can, we can, but you gotta take it back. Learn just to lead with me through Maltrack. Let your mind take off. Take pride in who you are. To let you know, see you stand tall. What's that all three places that stuck out? Mali, Sunday, Ghana, I'm talking about, no doubt. There were many more we could explore. But you're here for a limited time to take the tour, so let's go. Let's walk in their shoes. Where you come from, great, but you gotta pay dues. Don't stick with stuff, you're gonna miss the ship. Then we track, but we gotta get your mind intact. So now track. Maltrack.
Yep, try baby, you know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with Tayla Andre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. It's the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
We're approaching the coordinates. Stand by on this frequency. This is the champion dial. Big City 101.3. Continue standing by.
Copy that. Way on his side, two times, put it in the air. Way on his side, two times, put it in the air. You're my one and only girl. Ain't nobody
Boston's hottest radio station.
Patty
101.3.
SI Promotions USA and AKC Promotion presents a night called Winner. The short shorts edition.
Work. To me, I feel
On Saturday, April the 2nd, Boston Market, get yourself ready. It's all about Winner. Ladies, come out to get short shorts. It all takes place inside of the Unity Sports Club. Your DJs rocking Unity Sports Club. Diamond Dale and the Sounding Family. And I'm Y2K from Brooklyn, New York. Power Vibe. And some down before 11 p.m. And for the ladies, it's gonna be now Victoria's Secrets giveaway. And of course, you don't know sound system provided by the Monster Sound and Lighting Company. So must have tell a friend, tell a family member. Saturday, April the 2nd, get down inside the Unity Sports Club. It's all about Winner Short Shorts edition. Ladies, make sure your legs in a gear.
Lion Entertainment presents Live, the Spring Edition, Saturday, April 9th. Last year was lit. Nothing but vibes and fun. This year will be crazy. So come out and witness the transformation of Unity Sports Club into an unbelievably elegant and stylish upscale white and lime atmosphere. With music by DJ legends Sterl the Pearl, Sound Vibration, and Sound International. Come out and live with us on Saturday, April 9th at Unity Sports Club, 10 Dunbar Avenue. We're live. We're white. We're live and white. Live. The Spring Edition. April 9th, Unity Sports Club.
From your wake up this morning.
Don't miss it.
Yo, Boston, what's good? You know what it is. It's your boy Big Jack, and it's all about April the 15th. It's going down inside the Reggie Lewis Center. That's right, it's a live comedy show. Prince Marty meets Major Higher. Then for starting them, some of them venue after home money. I'm gonna want to make that body fire.
Yo, it's your boy Shilvin Winchester, Mayhem, I'm coming. Drop driver, why the hell you driving so fast, driver?